What is up, everyone? I am Robert Mraz.
And I'm Fina Mraz.
And this is CV Hustle, the podcast dedicated to entrepreneurship here in the Coachella Valley. And today, boy, do we have a special guest. We have an OG in the game, one of the guys that truly influenced this podcast thing here in the Valley. He's been doing this a long time. I think he was kind of a visionary, seeing the value of podcasting when like guys like myself had no idea what it even was. I didn't even know what a podcast was when this guy started. So, he was truly a visionary. He's also a professional financial advisor. So we're very excited to have Mr. Kyle Bryant on the show.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Thank you for the kind words. Wonderful introduction.
Yeah, thank you, man.
There's definitely a lot of people who came before me, but yeah, I'm very excited to be here. I love the studio. Love the rooms that you guys have.
Thank
the
you.
lighting.
Appreciate it.
Very well set up. Very professional.
And that's what we're trying to do, man. We're trying to give the community a space to come and record, CV Hustle Studio. So check out the videos prior if you want to get some more information on that. But back to you, Desert Financial Advisor, your podcast. Tell us a little bit how you got into the game.
I've never met Kyle. I want to know where did you grow up? Because I know you've known this guy for a long time.
Right.
So you went to Indio High School,
Yes.
that kind of thing?
Born and raised Indio. Went to graduate Indio High School 2008.
Okay.
And
I
went
You're a
to
young boy. Okay.
went to college, Cal State Fullerton, came back and did a few different things, different industries, sales, management, things of that nature. And then I fell in love with money and being able
Who didn't?
All right. They didn't teach us enough about it in high school. And then the things that a few professionals shared with myself, I was blown away. Interest rates, mortgages, compound interest. I was like, I just got out of high school just a few years ago, college, macroeconomics, microeconomics. They don't talk about it.
Yeah.
So I was able I want to learn more.
It's a whole different world.
It's completely different.
Oh, yeah.
And I just started one thing at a time, and that was in 2015 is when I started, and I became a licensed investment advisor representative in 2015.
Very cool.
And I started with a podcast around 2019, 2020 or so.
Early to the game.
What's so crazy is I am very interested in this too, because we came from nothing. I was always like, I can't live like this, right? I don't want to live anything like my parents. And so, do you remember I got my life insurance
That's right.
thing? I studied for that, and because I think insurance is a hack. Okay, that's just how I feel. Like, you lose so much money on insurance, right? Car insurance, you don't crash, you don't use it, you don't pay, right?
Right.
I mean, you're constantly paying is what I meant. But life insurance, you're going to use it.
Yeah.
You're going to die at some point. So I thought that was always kind of a real good thing. And I know you can borrow against it and things like that. So
yeah, life insurance is definitely a big foundation to what we do when it comes to financial planning. A lot of individuals, they would like to sit down with me and say, hey, I have an old 401k or something. Can you explain and help me move it over, open up an IRA, things of that nature. And I'll do that. However, I won't sit down and do your financial plan unless we talk about your life insurance, because that's a huge staple. Life insurance, unfortunately, I don't want to see kids holding up a poster with your face on it and, car washes and the little boxes, look, Cajitas in the store. And I don't want none of that stuff, So life insurance is vital. It could pay out right away compared to a 401k. It takes a while. Life insurance is what we call assignable. So you could pay a funeral home, boom. Whereas, 401k, IRAs, it takes a while. So it's huge.
I think our financial advisor, he's smart. Like, he's told us, hey, you guys own buildings or what have you like that. So if I was to die, right, who's going to keep going? So if I was to die, then Bobby would be one rich man, but I'm worth a lot. No, I'm just kidding. But no, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, that would pay off the building. That would pay off all kinds of things. And so those are things you don't have to necessarily worry about if you have life insurance. So
absolutely. And that's why I was able to share that message more through a podcast, because it's hard and it's pretty morbid sometimes when you don't want to talk about death and just be like, this and that and this. So being able to use a podcast and a platform allowed me to share different insights and maybe benefits, or unfortunately things that people thought was a benefit, but it really hurt people and they didn't understand how their policy worked. And so I was able to expose that on a podcast, and that was able to attract more families and be able to continue to grow.
There you go.
So out of college, were you just directly into the financial world, or how did that kind of come about for the people that may be thinking about taking that taking the same road as you as a young buck, just out of school, look good with numbers. How did that path progress for you?
So truth be told, with everything with numbers in school, I pretty much gave up on school when my mom died right before high school. It is what it is. I did enough just to get by.
But you got good grades. I mean, I knew you in high school, and you were a smart kid, man. I mean, you didn't give it the 110% that you would have normally, right?
No, because my motivation, a lot of so my mom was the one who promoted and said college and go to school and do all that. And then when she passed away, I was just like, you know what? I already know the game. I just need to not get a D, and if I get my college acceptance letters and I get enough credits, I could play the system. And unfortunately, that's what I did. And I didn't use my full potential and the power that I could have had. And so I just ended up going to college and just playing that game. Right. But while in college, I realized that student loans were just terrible. I understood.
Tell me about it, man. I was paying that thing for like 20 years.
Oh my God. I know. I'm like, we're still not done paying this damn thing.
Talk about it.
Crazy. They
Yes.
don't tell you that.
It's like a house.
They don't tell you that when you first sign up for those things. You just think you can go down to the. I was going down to the record store and buying music, and going to the bar and buying out the bar, thinking 40s. I was balling. But hey, like 20 years later, I'm still paying for those drinks, man. It was like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah,
here,
fast food. They need a big class on fast food and student loans and all that stuff. So, yeah, I was going through that in college, and then continued to me. Education is something that's very important to everybody. You never stop learning. Every day you should be learning, and you should be growing instead of just forgetting information. You should be learning and filling your mind with good stuff. And so I was just learning, and then lo and behold, I met a few people, and they said, hey, you should sit down with this guy. I said, what are they going to teach me? I was very naive, very stubborn and hard-headed. I'm like, I just finished some college classes on this and money. What are they going to teach me? They blew me away in about 45 minutes of just budgeting. People don't budget. I need amount of money that we're spending on, whether it's going to Starbucks or all these different. Nowadays you have Peacock, Hulu, Netflix,
like
Paramount
20,
TV,
HBO. Don't forget HBO.
I don't even know what I'm paying for these days on the streaming services. I can't even keep up.
See, a lot of people don't understand, and that's my biggest thing is I was spending money frivolously, just wasting money. I'm like, well, $7 here, $8 here. That's that adds up. That could be a few payments. Absolutely. And so then they opened my eyes to things like that. They were able to save me money on my insurance because they shopped around for my insurance. I only went to my local State Farm agent down the street. They actually shopped around for me, saved me money on there. I'm like, dang, I'm just being inefficient with my money. And then they told me about life insurance, which blew my mind. Mind you, I'm in college. My mom passed away when I was before high school. Nobody ever taught me about life insurance.
Really?
I'm 20. At this time, I was 24 years old. Nobody ever taught me about life insurance until they taught me. I said, you're saying for about $1 a day, my family could be set up. I could have been set up as a kid. And they said, unfortunately, we can't change it now. But you could have, your family, your mom, and they could have had a policy.
Well, and one of the things too with life insurance, the earlier you are, the younger you are, the better the rate you get. And so before all those diabetes and whatever else you got kicks in, right? Yeah. So it's do it. Yeah.
My mom was 39 years old, healthy, stage 4 breast cancer, boom. 9 months, 10 months, radiation, chemotherapy, all that. That's horrible. But no life insurance. And it just blew my mind. I'm like, it's one of the most selfless things you could do is actually get a life insurance policy.
I agree.
For other people, because to me, I'm gonna be chilling. I'll be heaven. I ain't got worried about none of this debt.
What do I care?
Yeah, leave that for y'all.
Dead, what do I care?
Can't take it with you, like they say.
So that's how I first got started in the financial game. And I was still working. I was a manager at a pet store in Palm Springs, and let's say an apprentice internship for about 2 years doing finances. Just learning, studying, learning, reading books, just countless books, so many books.
So no iguanas, no reptile stuff going on.
Nah. Okay. I had a couple fish and a little lizard.
Hey, those are nice and relaxing.
Yeah, those are nice and relaxing pets. But well, that's cool. So when you were doing your apprenticeship, when did you kind of okay, I can go out on my own and kind of, I don't want to work for somebody else. I kind of want to do it on my own here.
Oh.
And that's a big store to manage,
It built up over time. What happened was mostly my families. They're the ones who told me, and they're the ones who would say, man, the way you take care of me, I haven't had anybody else take care of me the way you're taking care of me. And I'm like, what do you mean? They're like, yeah, you would send me a Christmas letter, a Christmas card, just like a Christmas greeting. Hey, season greetings. cool. Things like that, following up with your families.
Right.
People would come, and they told me this later down the road. They said, you turned away doing an insurance policy for me. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, I took my policies to you. You looked them over, and you said I was good with most of them.
With what I was.
I just had to cancel one of them, but I was ready to cancel all of them and go with you. And I was ready to write a $2,000 check to pay the whole premium for the whole year.
Wow.
And that would have been nice for me, commissions
Right.
and all. He's like, that's when I really respected you. And it's just those things started building up over time. I'm like, damn, like people really trust me, and I'm different. Like I'm built different. And so I'm like, I could make it and I could succeed here. And just slowly after, I would say when you could sit down with an individual and you could create your own schedule without anybody creating a schedule for you, that's when you're ready to go on your own.
Absolutely. And I think too, like when people can trust you, and you are, and your reputation follows, and they know, okay, this guy does what he says he's going to do, that kind of thing, that speaks volumes, and it's like that in any business, right?
That's universal.
Trust.
Any business, it's a
Yeah.
personal relationship. You
Yeah.
have a personal relationship with your clients.
And that kind of, so I sell tile for a living. Okay. So, but people will come into me and go, what should I do here? Should I put tile, and should I do this? And I'm like, listen, I really want to sell you some tile, but like what you have is fine. It's fine. Come to me when you're ready to, do your showers or whatever, because it's true. Like you just, if you're going to do and look out for them, they're going to respect that.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah,
that's cool.
they've come back. They bring families back. They've invited me. They do a lot of things for me, and if it makes me feel very included as a family, and that's why I call them my families, not clients. And these are my families.
Sure.
Take care of them. But when something drastic in the middle of the night, people call me, hey, unfortunately this happened. I just want to make sure my life insurance policy. I'll check it. Boom. I don't have a 1-800 number. It's a personal cell phone number that you can call, reach out, and be like, hey, I'm here for you. So,
Absolutely.
yep.
Absolutely.
And my number hasn't changed for over 10 years, and man, keep it that way. And then with trust, anybody can go to what's called brokercheck.com, FINRA. And since I'm federally regulated with my licenses, you could see I have 0 disclosures, which means I haven't done anybody wrong. So very proud of that.
How
Pretty
often,
transparent, huh?
How often do you have to update that?
So that's all the time, like 30 days. Like anything happens, any disclosures, if anybody writes a complaint, a notification, and says, "Hey, I did this wrong. I didn't do this." Certain
But no,
trades.
like up your license, don't you?
Oh,
have to
that's
go-
annually.
it's annually.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Do you have to take a test, or is it just
Yeah,
something
you have to
do?
do continuing education requirements. So I'm a licensed mortgage loan originator, so a loan officer. I'm licensed financial investment principal. So that's like people think a financial advisor. That's technically a financial advisor would be, Fidelity or BlackRock or the company Robinhood. That would be the financial advisor.
I have
They-
Robinhood.
Yeah, so that's an advisor, but we're the representatives or the principals. And so that's what I am. And then I'm also an insurance agent. So
Very
I do all that stuff to help families in that area.
Oh my gosh.
I got to do licensing renewals every year for each one.
Jack of all trades, man. But
Yeah.
I mean, your profession is pretty rewarding, right? I mean, you get out of bed in the day, and I mean, it's got to be pretty good to be like, okay, I'm going to go help these families like prepare for the future. Because,
Absolutely.
Because I think as humans, we don't really think like that, right? Like it's hard for us to kind of comprehend 5 years from now, right? As it's just like our lizard brain doesn't want to think about, what's going to happen like in 2 days, let alone 5 years from now. So you're kind of like the shepherd that's leading the sheep around saying, hey, these are important things that are going to come down the pipeline. So, I mean, that's got to be kind of a cool feeling, right?
Absolutely. And I think social media helps with promote the fact that people want this lifestyle. They want to live this lifestyle, but then they're starting to realize it takes money, and you have to take time to build up and to invest into yourself or whatever
Absolutely.
to get that lifestyle. Even though you see it on social media like, oh, it's overnight success. Well, that's not so attainable. What is attainable is if you put $200 a month in a 401k IRA for, 10, 20 years, you could have something very successful. You could buy a house within the next 5 years if you just put your head down, stop spending money on crazy things, and just, do it the right way.
Right.
Yeah, we have young girls, they're 27, they're twins, and I'm like, you guys need to invest now. Like keep just whatever you can, throw it in there. You guys have a long life ahead of you. You need to go high risk and just write it
I
out.
agree.
You know, because she's like, oh, I'm doing like moderate risk. And I'm like, no, change it.
When you're young, you go as risky as
Yeah,
possible, right? No risk, no
absolutely.
return, right?
No return, no
you
reward.
no reward.
That's yes. Yeah. So it's very difficult for me to say certain things on podcast and radio
I guess
when it
that-
comes to
Yeah, he's regulated.
Why?
He's federally regulated.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
So I can't
Just,
tell everybody to
Well,
be
then how can
aggressive,
you
but I
be
can
an
tell
advisor
myself.
if you can't advise me to do that?
Great question. So, but this is why you've never seen a commercial for an investment advisor rep. You've never seen a billboard.
true.
You've never seen any kind of radio, because we're highly regulated in this field. Because it could be like, oh, I can't even get a testimony. I can't say, even though I have families who would willingly do it, I can't have them say, hey, Kyle's been taking care of me for the last 5 years. You should go with him. I can't even have that.
Really?
No.
Come on.
So I use podcasts to be creative, to step outside and
Okay, what can't you say?
so for me, I learned, so like, you know, I guess it's a gift and a curse. Is I learned how to read puzzles and dissect it pretty fast and put it together type stuff. It helped me when I was quarterback, and that's how we met playing football. And just like, all right, well, I could see the pattern. I could see, okay, they're doing cover 3, cover 1, cover 2. He's blitzing, hot route, whatever, zone, shift, audio, like gap 1. You know, that was easy for me. It just came natural. Plus, I could throw, you know, whatever.
You can adjust,
Yeah.
adapt.
Yeah, you can't be no dummy and play quarterback,
Oh, God, no
especially
kidding.
at the varsity level.
I couldn't do it.
Yeah, so you know,
you
just
gotta
being
make
able
reads.
to, you know, put puzzles together is just always been a skill of mine. So that's pretty much what I do for families, and I just get it done.
All right, I have a question.
Yeah.
When can we do a hard money loan? Do
It
you
is
do
all
that?
about-
Do you do those?
She's all about the hard money.
I
loans,
love
man.
risk.
So
She
yeah,
loves
so
that
so
25% interest rate. That's what she loves.
It's not that high. It's like
I
12.
mean, it's pretty high. It's pretty high. It's
Right,
Not a,
so-
not a great.
Can you talk about
Not a
that?
great thing to take out.
okay, so going back to things that to get creative is I found ways and loopholes how to say things without getting in trouble. So a lot of things you could say is, you know, you have to make sure you meet with a licensed professional, that somebody who understands your investment objectives and meets your suitability and risk tolerance.
There you go.
And then
Be a
I'd
professional
say-
answer.
That being said,
Okay.
I'm very aggressive, very risky. I believe that we should have a recession every about 7 to 10 years.
So yeah.
I'm, you know, in my 30s. I don't plan to retire. I mean, retire is a different venture, but a qualified account, a retirement account, is 59 and a half. So 60 years. So I got at least 2 to 3 recessions under my belt. All right, cool. I'll go get those. So I'm aggressive as crazy. Like I want to be wildly aggressive.
So you want the market to crash, so then you buy, and then it goes up, right?
Yes.
Well, that's kind of the
Yes.
cycle of.
However,
capitalism.
when I'm
How's the-
55, then I want to be more, you know, conservative
Sure.
when I'm 55 in that nature. So I use what's called a GPS program. You want to grow it, then you want to protect it, then you want to spend it. So
I like the spending part.
yes,
we love
Tell
the
me more
spending
about
part.
that.
We love the spending part.
Yes.
Just the making it that sucks. But,
And we spend in December every year.
all right.
yes.
Have to, have to.
Unfortunately, people spend their tax returns in December. I see that a lot.
That's crazy, bro.
They spend it's
Before
like
they got it,
Yep.
and they're paying
Really?
like 15% to get it from the tax cashing spot. That's a straight racket, man.
We should open a book. We
So-
should open that
That's
business.
a straight
They
racket.
charge out their they'll charge out their credit cards in November and December, knowing that they're going to get back 5 to 10,000 in March, April.
Wow.
Oh my God.
They're paying that 19%, and then they're oh my gosh, crazy.
This is the financial literacy that I come across, and it's unfortunate because I believe if they knew better, they would do better.
Not everybody.
I don't know, man.
But-
I don't know, man.
There's some dumbasses out
I
there. I
don't
don't know.
I mean, you know what? You might have like a positive outlook.
I mean, there's a lot of dumbasses. I mean, I can't. You know, public school's not what it once was.
we need more of you.
Kyle. Public school's not very good anymore. People don't really know how to do math anymore.
Dude, they don't
Yeah,
even
they
teach
don't.
kids cursive. I'm like, my kid's like, I can't read that, and I was like,
Very
listen,
true.
I know I write like a doctor, but damn, you can't read that. It says, you know, do your homework or whatever.
Yeah.
Crazy. And
It is unfortunate.
And that other weird math, Don't even go. Don't
Oh, I
even get me
know.
started.
My daughters. I was like, "What is this, Matt? What are
Yeah.
you doing with this? What?"
Why are you
The algebra,
complicating? Why
the
are you
algebra and the
complicating
calculus
things?
started.
Right?
Oh my
Like,
God.
why are you complicating life?
Calculus.
Life's already hard as it is.
Yeah.
Calculus is just Chinese at this point. It's like, what am I even looking at here?
But see, nowadays, that's why I actually like podcasts and videos like this, is because I was looking up how to do my car the other day, how to replace the AC controller. Simple. It was $34.99. Pull it in, pull it out. Just watch a video on a guy who has a podcast on fixing cars.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Or YouTube. YouTube. You need to fix anything in the house, you go to YouTube now.
Yeah.
Or
Right?
learn how to tie a tie.
Oh yeah, I had to
Bobby
do
does
that
that because he
I had
doesn't
to
wear
do
ties
that.
very often,
I
right?
had to
So like, you
relearn
go
how
to a
put
wedding or
tie
something, he's
on.
like, oh
I had
shit.
to watch it on YouTube a couple times. Remember, I got to pull it here, over here. You know, it's a very helpful tool, man. Very
I use
helpful.
that same thing probably every 1-2 weeks.
I just watched how to prune roses because I'm into roses right now. Like,
That's your hobby right now.
I love it.
So that's why I believe podcasts are very useful, being able to share this information, because I have a lot of information that's in my head. Some of it's, useless. However, somebody can gain value from something, whether it's talking about IRAs, 401ks, insurance, the tariffs that are going on right now with the economy and the government.
I'm getting letters from my vendors already. They
We're living
and
in
I was
crazy times right now, man. Crazy
like,
times.
All right, here we go.
Well, that's a good segue to your podcast. So, Desert Advisors, what are we, somebody wants to kind of look you up. What are they going to find on Desert? I know what they're going to find, but I want to hear from the horse's mouth. What kind of
Right
information?
now, I've been doing every day I'm buying $7 of cryptocurrency. So I'm doing a little follow along if people want to get into crypto, because a lot of people are still new.
Smart.
I just bought some on Robinhood.
Oh, there you go. See?
What did you buy? You don't even.
He's
Fuck
like,
if I know.
Did you buy the?
What did we buy?
He's like,
Did you buy the Trump coin?
no,
Don't buy
I
the
don't know.
Trump coin.
No, I don't know what it
Don't-
was.
Don't buy that.
But I was like, let me dilly dally in this.
Okay.
Right?
Well, you just bought whatever
But-
you saw. I mean, how
I
do you
don't
even
know.
make that decision?
Robinhood was flashing something, and I was like, oh, like.
Oh,
You
just
just wasted our
opened
money,
up a can of
basically.
worms right now.
You want to know what's so stupid? You want to know how stupid I am? Like, I'm smart in many ways, but I'm really stupid in other ways. So, like, Robinhood, I spent all this stuff, right, on whatever, and it grew. But I don't know how to, like, sell it and get my money back and then buy other shit. So it just grows.
You don't know how to take a profit?
Yeah, and
just
I'm
sitting
like,
in your account?
oh, get a dividend. Cool. Like,
Dividends are nice.
oh, they are. But they're kind of little.
They're not
right now.
guaranteed, but they're
They're
very
little.
nice.
They're little right now, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's money I didn't,
Just as long as it's not the mortgage payment that
No.
you're putting on.
No, honey,
Robinhood,
I
it'll
wouldn't
be
do that to
okay.
you.
Yeah, let's not
Even though-
go crazy. That's just play money. That's like hey, if
Play
I lose
money.
It, if I
It's
lose
not
it,
play money.
Well, I know, but we got to make sure it's
Well, it is
not
because I don't know how to take it
paying
out.
any bills or anything like that. 'cause
Yeah.
that could be pretty volatile, especially right now.
So I'm showing people how to do crypto right now. That's one thing that I'm showing people is if they
Yeah.
go to my account on TikTok, Instagram, or YouTube, they'll see day 33 or 34, $7 a day. I'm doing $7 a day because I believe that's attainable. That's 37 times 3, that's 21, $210 a month. I figure people can afford that.
Yeah, but how do you know how to, like, crypto is
Oh,
like,
where did I
too
learn?
big for my brain. I don't know. You need to, like, break it down because I don't get it.
Okay.
Well, you
Right.
bought
I
something
break it
today, so
down.
you probably get it a little bit. You spending money on it.
Well,
Well,
I mean,
So
coming
there's
from the
different.
expert, what is crypto for those that don't know what it is?
So crypto is a digital asset, and it's a way for people to digitally transfer money or value, or hold value in assets. So traditionally, right now, you don't have to answer out loud, but if I gave you $10,000, how would you hold that for the next 5 years? What would you do with it? Would you buy a
I'd
bar?
probably put it in a bond.
Okay, so you would buy a piece of paper.
Yes. Something high. Oh, I would. I'd rather
high
do
yield
I'd
bond?
rather do a hard money loan.
But basically, you're giving $10,000 to the government, and they're giving you a piece of paper,
That's true.
right?
Well, they're also giving me interest back.
Of course, but the interest has a piece of paper. Is basically just a piece of paper.
Okay.
Whatever.
That-
Okay.
You're not getting anything, no asset with
Like
it,
no
right?
real
Yeah,
tangible
tangible
thing.
It's
It's
not.
all backed by the full faith of the United States government.
Yes.
Which is pretty shaky right now, by the way.
Oh God, here we go.
I mean,
I'm just saying, bonds are super safe.
Yeah. They are the safest investment.
Thank you.
Yes.
See, I know a little bit.
There you go.
And so that I can say. And so you would traditionally put it in a bond, and it would pay you a certain interest, guaranteed or not, by a certain amount, and pay you back over time. And that's a way that you could store this value to keep up. Now, traditional bond right now is going to give you back what percentage? Maybe 6%. 6% right now.
I have another answer too after this. After you tell me.
Right. And so if inflation is currently at
3%.
Yeah, depending if you do CPI, PPI, whatever it is. Let's say like 3.5, 3.8%, depending. So let's say 3.5%, you're making around 2.5% on your money, the difference.
Yeah, because they have to take a little piece of the pie.
Right. And so that's, it's pretty safe, but you can't really build wealth making 2% on your money every year type stuff.
Okay, I have another thing. So if I had $10,000, maybe I'd buy some gold bars.
Perfect. I love that.
Yeah?
That's my favorite investment. I've been promoting that for the last couple of years.
Gold bars, huh?
Absolutely.
What are we in the 1860s, dude?
I'm telling
Gold
people
bars?
See, I got it right answer.
Gold bars.
That's the one my biggest investment would be gold or XRP, but yes.
What the hell is XRP?
It's the Ripple network, and it's how every bank has been transacted. So on my podcast years ago, I said, if there's one crypto you should buy, it's XRP. This is, pull it up, years ago.
It's a type of crypto.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you have a $100 bill, the lady who was on, Rosie Rios, who's on your $100 bill, she joined the Ripple network years ago. Yeah. Bank of Santander, which is a big bank from Spain, American Express, Bank of America, they've been using the Ripple network for years. But they haven't promoted it publicly due to the fact of the SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, their lawsuits and things. And recently, in the last year, people have started like, oh, XRP. I'm so glad people started realizing in the last year or two.
That's what it is.
But you should have been paying attention for the last 5 years because you really would have cashed in. But nonetheless, XRP is how, you may remember this. So how would people and families send money across?
MoneyGram.
There you go. MoneyGram or Western Union.
Yes.
I know this is the advantage of crypto, what you're about to
This
bring
is
up.
this is what crypto.
Major
So let's say Bob and I, we go to Argentina, and him and I would go and we're hanging out, and we run out of cash.
You drank too much at the bar.
There we go.
Jesus.
it happens.
And then we hit you up. We say, hey, we need some money. Can you send us some money? You might say, hey, let's go to a Western Union and try and transfer that money and do all that stuff.
Okay.
And you would use traditionally the SWIFT network. It's a 60-year-old banking system. And that's
Like
how
a wire, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
A wire transfer. You know how banks have to wait 3 days for things to clear, right? Before, back in the day, back up, people used to write a ledger. Well, before, if you had a piece of gold, you would go to a bank. The bank would say, we'll hold your gold for you. Here's a receipt that says you have $1,000 worth of gold.
Wow.
People are tired of carrying those receipts. Those receipts individually, long story short, became paper dollar bills backed by full faith of the government, gold. Then we got away from the gold standard. Won't get into it. Fast forward. Now people just have dollars, and a lot of it's digital. They'll use Zelle, Cash App, all this stuff. It's almost instantaneous. We're transitioning to the digital world compared to carrying around pieces of gold and silver.
Yeah.
And that's where we're pretty much at. So if him and I were stuck in Argentina and we needed money, instead of you going to Western Union, you would log into Robinhood, Crypto.com, download some Bitcoin or XRP. XRP is the fastest, easiest way to send value, money, across international borders and have it cleared right away. So you would, let's say, buy XRP on Crypto.com, send it to my wallet in XRP. I would have all this money, and I could download it into Argentina pesos, and now I could buy a ticket in less than 5 minutes.
Oh my God. Okay, so I have a client who's big time into crypto, and he pays me with a credit card with crypto.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? Okay.
So that's crypto on that card.
As long as that sucker.
It's a debit
As long as
card.
it goes through.
As long as it goes through, we'll take it.
I have the same thing, yeah.
Huh.
It's money on that debit card.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that crypto is a much more easier to transfer internationally. There's no friction in terms of going into the wire system. and
Absolutely.
paying fees to give people your money. It basically, you can send it and people get it right then and there. No friction, no anything. It's a better overall system for that type of
100%.
transaction.
And banks want their money verified right away.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's called a ledger. So once again, people would write down your information on a document, piece of paper, ledger, and say, oh, you have this much money. Okay, we could lend out this much money. And so that same ledger are now computer ledgers. And so each computer not each computer, but certain computers attached to this network, they verify this information. And it's very difficult to steal or try and do any kind of fraudulent activity because so many computers are connected. I don't want to get too detailed, but it's amazing.
So I think like when we've gone to Europe or what have you, if I use my American Express, my ass gets charged, right? So that like that kind of wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
right?
if you used exactly. If you used XRP or Bitcoin, they wouldn't do that.
Yeah, they wouldn't.
So
do that.
Bitcoin takes a while. I mean, it depends. Bitcoin, Lightning, things like that. But yeah, XRP and certain crypto will be much more viable and easier to use. So I don't think people are going to be using Bitcoin to buy Starbucks. I don't think it's going to be like that.
No.
It's going to be more of like a asset like gold and silver, right? Like it's something you want to have in your portfolio, but not overdo because of the volatility.
I believe the value of Bitcoin. So statistic is the value of Bitcoin has never been less after a 5-year period. So if you look at any 5-year segment of Bitcoin, it's always worth more money after 5 years, which is an incredible investment. Any kind of investment. What?
Well, so is real estate.
Yeah, but
yes,
you
it
can't.
is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
It's an incredible, but you can find many instances where values are much less after 5 years.
I mean, if you're in the long game, real estate.
Exactly. But see,
if you're
Bitcoin,
a 25-year investment.
But Bitcoin is still young, and Bitcoin is still early as far as it's only 21 million coins ever created, and now retirement accounts are buying and holding it, what we would call diamond hands. They're not selling anytime soon.
So you're not getting that back into the system then, right? So it's going to limit even more the supply, which inflates the value. There you go. Told you we should have bought something.
Yeah. Well, his friend told him a long time ago, Bobby, Bobby being the skeptic he is.
Well, I mean, in 2015, nobody, I was like, what do you want me to throw my money at this for, But, now looking back, geez, I wish I'd have thrown a lot of money at that,
I wish I would have bought more Bitcoin and XRP.
We'd have a better house.
Yeah, but Bitcoin is how much now? It's a lot, right?
$100,000.
It's not
Yeah,
cheap
it's
to
like
buy.
It's $100,000.
No, it's not.
Yes,
I thought it was like $20. He's saying $7 a day.
For Bitcoin?
No, I'm buying just different crypto.
No, he's just buying all these other types of crypto.
Well,
Bitcoin's at like $100,000.
Bitcoin is like
right
what?
Now.
I don't know. It's like a brand name almost.
No, it's a form of digital currency.
It's like I just explained it. So I'm gonna slap the shit out of you.
It's a digital currency.
Okay. So but they're all digital currencies.
Yes.
But Bitcoin's like the name brand.
It's one of them.
It's the first one, right?
It's one of
the
Is it really 100,000?
90.
Yeah, it's
$98,000
$100,000 right now for one.
Yeah, 98,000 as of today.
Yeah,
God.
it got up to like 110. It's come down.
you
Oh yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Because come on,
You dilly dally in it.
I just I know my stuff.
So being
You
able,
do?
so that's one thing I loved about with my podcast is I had a lot of families and individuals who said, "Hey, I want to learn about crypto, but I know with your individual business, you guys don't talk about it." That's true. So
Why?
it's just not a staple because crypto was still young and it wasn't regulated. Now it's inside your 401k, your IRA.
Yeah,
Shut up.
true.
Yes.
How did I not know that?
You didn't talk to me
You're
yet.
all you need to get a better financial
Yeah,
advisor.
exactly.
That's why.
Matt,
That's why
I love
he's
you.
here.
Matt, we
That's
love you.
exactly
That's why
I'm
he's here. That's why he's here. I mean, he is kind of the first guy I saw, at least down here, doing crypto posts and stuff like that, kind of promoting product. Well, not promoting products, but just letting people know, hey, this is what it is. And
We need to get in on it.
Yeah, we're having a financial revolution. And so when you start, so I like to follow the money. A lot of people could say certain things. People have their opinions, and I get it. Everybody has, an opportunity to voice their opinions, and I respect their opinions. I might not agree with it. A lot of people are not the brightest crown in the box. However, I'll just be like, that's cool. Speak your piece. But when you follow the money and you start, this is what I love about what Elon Musk is doing with our government, following the money and the tax dollars, where we're spending money, all these
That
different
we don't need to spend.
ridiculous places.
Yeah.
And so when you start to see where the money's going and how crypto actually functions and how banks are using it, our federal government, we're using it, the Silk Road, how we have a lot of Bitcoin stored, there's no other option other than cryptocurrency moving forward.
There you go.
You just touched on a pretty controversial topic there.
All right.
Mr. Musk. I mean, yeah, he's doing some work on the government, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, we're all paying taxes. I'd rather pay taxes for the
I'm
right
paying
reasons.
Taxes,
Oh,
all
we're
right.
paying
And I would
Jesus
I think everybody should support auditing where our tax dollars go.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. Like the IRS is not in the Constitution, and there's a lot of departments that are not in the Constitution.
It's a bloated government, right?
And so I'd like to see, okay, if we're paying for these and we're funding these, where's all this money going? And then we could all decide like, oh, that's valid. Let's scrap that.
I get
Yeah, but
it.
you're always going to have people saying yes and saying no.
Absolutely.
It just is with anything,
Mm-hmm.
right? Anything.
Right.
Yeah, but the thing that concerns me, and I'll just leave it at this: the federal government's not Silicon Valley. You know, he's taking the move fast, break it approach. You know, like with certain departments, and in the federal government, if you break shit, some people might die, man. You know, it's not a business. I'm not laying people off. There's people that could seriously, it could do a lot of harm. So that's my concern. I'm totally with getting rid of the waste, but man, just if something goes wrong, I could see it just something really bad happening, and then that would be the end of Elon Musk and the government, I think.
Yeah, well, I think that the government's been wrong for a while now. We've been through whether it's you're red or blue.
Either side is just it's a hustle anyway, right?
Yeah, that's why I love with my podcast. So with my financial persona and the business that I have, it's very difficult to toe the line of being one-sided. You don't want to say one thing because you don't want to offend these families. In a lot of families, they have a certain way that they were raised and cultures, and you respect it. And you don't want to walk in, and they say, when in Rome, do as Romans do. And so you don't want to walk into a family and you want to help them succeed financially. And even though you both agree that, hey, maybe we should save money and we should put money here, but I say this about this politician, you think this, and then all of a sudden we're just not going to do business. Well, nobody wins. In the end, your kids are losing financially because we're just butting heads politically.
Yeah, and you don't want to do that.
And there's a time and a place. And so as a podcaster, it allowed me to make a new channel and be like, this is who I'm going to be, like this cap. I'm going to be, because when I went to my major in college was political science.
That's his.
So I've always been into politics. Oscar Ortiz and I, we've studied the budget at my house in 2018 of Indio City Council and the police department. And
you guys are freaking hardcore.
And we would follow the money and we would see, where's this money going? How efficiently, like, why is this cop making $150,000, $200,000 a year? What are we doing? Like with certain, and then things would be valid and we understood, okay, this makes sense. So yeah, we just follow the money, but being able to have a podcast allowed me to, let me take care of this family and say what I need to financially. And then I could be political and be on this channel like this. And I never had to like mix the two.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do when people ask me to, but for the most part, I don't.
Right.
Like I had somebody yesterday say, hey man, we haven't heard from you too much. What's going on? What do you think about all this? We need to hear from you because nobody's giving us the truth. And that made me feel good. I'm like, damn, people really do trust and they want to hear what I have to say about whether it's the tariffs and all these different things. I'm like, all right, let me break it down financially. Let me stay in my lane and focus on that. So,
right. But in business, you always want to kind of stay apolitical, right? And stay in the middle. I tell people all the time, I don't care who's elected president. I'm going to make money regardless on both sides. You just got to figure out how to make it, right? So, I mean, this show is apolitical, so everybody watching, I don't need no, bots attacking the show. We're an apolitical show. We're not on anybody's side, but
we're here to inspire, educate, and inform.
But it's a very important conversation. I mean, we live in some crazy times right now, and there's a lot of moving parts that are going on in our country right now. So Kyle's one of the guys. If you want to get some information on what's going on, he's somebody that you want to kind of reach out to and even just give him a follow. He's going to give you some really good information. He studies this stuff. I mean, I look to him for certain things, on the crypto side. I'm always kind of trying to see what he's looking at because he might be able to make a fast buck there if you're quick enough, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There's many different ways, and there's a lot of information out there. And just keep your options open. Never be closed-minded. Your mind is like a parachute. If you don't open it, it doesn't work.
And always take risks. Okay. I have a question.
She's a risk taker.
Okay, I have a question because Bobby laughs at me, but I don't care. I do my own thing. I love Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
And you know what
Robert
this
Kiyosaki.
guy? Yeah,
Amazing.
I love him. And you know what they taught me was F your 401k. And you know why? Because you're only making like 4%, blah, blah, blah. Like, go take that money and go buy real estate. But then you hate real estate.
No, I don't. I do not hate real. No, I'm a loan original. I would love everybody right now. If you want to buy real estate, if you want to buy a piece of property, let me know. If you're looking, if you want to know how to qualify, I got you.
God. Okay,
I love real estate.
Guess what? I got my real estate license last year.
Beautiful.
Oh my God.
That's right.
Because I told Bobby, we're going to buy real estate till we die. Right? He wants to sell everything. And I'm like, no.
I want to sell everything at the right time.
And I'm like, we're not selling. We're not selling.
I want to sell high and buy low.
Well, who doesn't? But like, no.
You just want to hold on to everything forever.
I do, because I'm smart. So anyway, so what do you think about that? Like 401ks, if you're selling them.
So I love 401ks because of the tax break of the government. So 401k is the tax code that the government inside their book. You know, like a lot of people know like 187 when you hear that, what that code means. I don't know, maybe you know. But yes. So 401k is the tax code to be able to put money in a qualified account, grow the money over time, and not have to pay taxes on that money. So until you withdraw it. However, you could have a Roth 401k. All the money you put in, never pay taxes on it.
Yeah, because you already paid taxes when you put it in.
Pre-tax,
we have both.
We have a couple. Yeah.
So I love a Roth 401k traditionally. And then also 401k traditionally gives you free money. I can't give you free money. I don't know anybody who can legally, but if you have a job, and let's say you guys with your business, and let's say he's an employee of yours with your tile business, you start a 401k, you could match, he puts in 3%, you can match 3%.
I already do that for my employees.
Yeah. So you're giving them free money. They're earning free money in a 401k. It's very, like, there's many people who but it all comes back to me is I turn them away because I can't give them free money. They say, I want to open a Roth IRA with you. I'm tired of investing $200 a month in my 401k. I appreciate that, but I can't give you that match. They're going to give you a match. Let's talk once you leave that job. They respect it, and like I said, we move forward.
Okay, so what about, because our people are saying you got to do a 401k.
You're a CPA?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well,
they've been trying to push me to do that for years.
If you have 5 employees, you have to.
No, you don't.
You have to do something, or do you have CalPERS?
Yes, I think.
No, we have health insurance. We have the health insurance.
No, you have to do a
retirement.
Oh, yeah, I know.
We have
retirement.
SEPs.
Yeah, we have retirement.
It's a SEP IRA. So, yeah, Simplified Employee Pension Plan.
Yeah.
So what that is, the government, California, mandated a retirement plan if you have more than 5 employees. If you don't do it, then you get penalized.
I know a lot of people that don't. And I'm
Send
like,
them my way.
but I'm like, that's how you keep good employees. Right?
That's exactly what we're talking about.
Absolutely. I mean, I want to keep my people. I love every single one of them. And
gotta keep them.
We should all be making money. We should all like be set up for our, not demise, but when we retire, right?
Yes.
We should be doing that.
Yes.
I'll drink to that. What about you?
Absolutely, yeah. I believe everybody should have a 401k if it's offered to you through work, due to the fact that they give you benefits with the free money. Other than that, you should have a private investment, whether it's real estate or an IRA, stacks, bars of gold, things of that nature.
Told you.
So what you're saying is diversify, like any good financial.
Like
don't put all your
money
eggs
loads.
in one basket.
Not too much.
401k.
Too much in real estate.
Hard money loans. That's the first thing.
I love it.
She loves hard money loans.
If you know how to work it, flip it, use it.
Yeah, but then you got to go break people's legs when they don't pay you. So.
Oh yeah, I'm mean. Don't.
We gotta hire.
What
some,
is that saying?
Some goons to go.
The big worm said. Come on.
What?
Big worm.
Oh, playing with your money?
Stop playing with my money, Smokey.
Like fucking with my emotions.
My emotions.
That does get me emotional.
There you go. See?
No, it's just I think it always goes back to like my childhood, right? Like I always grew up in an apartment complex. We never lived in a house. Like I had a single mom, that kind of thing. And so I'm trying to always make the best decisions for me, myself, and my family, right? And I need to teach my children how to do the same thing because, mama ain't gonna be here forever.
Right.
So we gotta make them.
It's all about education,
financially
right?
Independent there.
That's right. That's what I believe. Why cell phones are so valuable is because you could be educated and you could educate yourself in just a matter of seconds.
True.
When listen to a podcast or put yourself on a podcast and put yourself out there. And then I've had people comment and say, hey, why don't you try this? That's a great idea. Why? Thank you. And so just being able to expose yourself and being able to say, hey, even though I don't have it all figured out, I don't have it all together, if I just put it out there, somebody, there's 333 million people in the United States. There's a nice person who might say, hey, why don't you try this way? Thank you. Now you're doing things better. So,
yeah, the age of connectivity is here, man. I mean, you can learn anything on your phone, on YouTube. I mean, it's like,
could you imagine back in the day you had to write letters?
Oh man,
like, and
imagine?
Then
kind of romantic.
You had to go to the library and look up a book and read the book. Like, dude, who's gonna do that? You know,
we used to have encyclopedias. They were freaking interesting. You know,
you used to read the encyclopedia.
Oh shit! How old am I?
You're giving away your age right now.
I don't care. It is what it is. I can't change
encyclopedia.
Hey, Britannica.
I remember William Wallace watching the movie Braveheart.
Oh yeah,
using my encyclopedia. But see, nowadays you could just that's why I love the internet. Is you just download anything and just a great source of information.
The age of
I
digital
believe
information, man.
I believe I owe it to my society and the community to give back and share my information. Whatever I've learned, I got to share it.
Okay, I have a question.
It's not fair.
So where are you learning your information, and how do you know it's the right information? And do you go to like classes about this stuff? Because like I'm a tile nerd. I just came back from Cancun and learned about all kinds of cool shit that's coming to our market. So I mean, like that's what I do because I service interior designers, builders, architects, right? So to me, I feel like it is my job to give them the know of what's coming down, right? Because they got a million other things going on, and I'm very specialized. So what do you do to... That's a long question.
Yeah, no. So I love, absolutely. You have to continue to inform and educate yourself. So for instance, when Gavin Newsom made the requirement that every business in California must have a retirement account if you have more than 5 employees, I read just hundreds of pages of first the bill, what it meant, and I would read the actual bill.
Oh, shit.
So the legislation.
I'd fall asleep.
So going back to kind of how I guess a gift and a curse is I could just read things very fast and people would just be like, dude, you finished? Yeah, I finished that. No, you're bullshit. I read it. Like, I could tell you what's in it. And I could just, like I said, I don't know. I could just dissect it. And it is what it is. And so it's a gift being able to just read through pages and pages of whether it's a bill and legislation. That's why I like political science. I could read through this legislation fine. And I could understand and grasp it and then answer questions about it. And then, so that's number one. You have to read the legislation. What is law? Not what this political pundit says. What is this? What is Fox or CNN? They're gonna fight Murdoch. All these people. They're all paid.
Red versus blue.
I don't. Man. No.
Gang war.
To me, I used to write op-ed. I still do write op-ed. So I'm as good as those columnists that are writing to. So who are they? I want to know what the actual bill says. So I read that stuff first off. Then I read when it comes to the law. So then I say, okay, this is why American Express, Bank of America, they're not promoting crypto because it's not law. However, financially, then I start to see where are they making their money. I like going back. You follow the money. And you start to see, wait, they're making all these payments and they're doing this and what remissions here and dividends here and what contracts. What are we doing? And you start to see, okay, if the money is here, that's a contract. That's legit handwritten. Okay, so that's another thing. So I start to see the contracts. Then I start to see different books on political views of this is maybe, hyperbole, or this is maybe conspiracy theory, or this could possibly be an idea of what may happen. And I'm like, that's kind of,
Sure.
what each person is saying. Because, there's 3 sides to the story, your side, my side, and the truth. And I put it all together, and then I start to make my own ideas of this is what I think is truly happening. And so then I present my ideas on the podcast. But like I said, I usually use court, number one, what's going on legal documents, and then I'll follow the money. Those are the 2 things I use. Like today, my whole social media, following the money of our tax government. I don't even get into the political side, but where it's all going, I posted that.
So why don't you become a lawyer?
That's actually one of my goals.
I was gonna say
My grandfather.
because if you can read boring shit like that
Yes.
and then tell laymen's like me,
That's true.
you got my business. You know what I'm
That's-
saying?
yeah.
Because
That's
right?
basically what a lawyer does.
That's
basically
Totally.
interprets the law,
I-
reads the law, interprets it, then advises clients. That's basically.
I
what
can't
a
read
lawyer
or I'll
does.
fall asleep.
Yeah.
Literally, I have to download Headway because it just sum it up for my little pea brain.
That's what I do. So being able to read, like 401k statements or whatever, and then dissect, or like a life insurance policy, whatever, a loan, whatever it is, and being able to tell you these are the benefits, these are the responsibilities, issues. I don't know, but see, to me, it's I wanted something that's duplicatable. I'm not so sure the next guy follow me can do all that. I would hope.
What do you mean the next guy?
I want to
next
teach.
guy?
I want to teach my skills to somebody else. I don't want to be this only person who could, set somebody up financially
Yeah,
and
but-
help other people. I want to be able to teach other people. I want to pass the baton to somebody else, and being able
Like
to
your
just
clients, you mean?
somebody else who wants to do what I do.
Yeah, but yeah, they'd have to want to read contracts.
That's
And,
but there
like,
are people
political
like
science.
that. It's just
Yeah, I get it.
Unfortunately, I've come across people, and it's like their retention level might not be there, but they're great at other things that I can't do. They're great at talking to people, or they're just very different. So I'm like, I like duplicatable. I like a system that anybody. I like a system where a 9th grader could walk in and they could do it, and that's how I try and teach finances. Is a 9th grader can understand crypto, they can understand a mortgage statement, they can understand a credit card statement. That's how I like to
I
explain
can't
it.
believe the interest rates on some of these credit cards. You go to like Home Goods. 'cause
Talk
that's-
about it.
That's one of my favorite.
man.
And they're like, would you like to sign up for your thing? You get 15% off. And I'm like, hell no, I'm not paying your interest rate.
Yeah.
Crazy.
they're usually like
23
12%.
No, it's like
No,
23% now.
oh, yeah.
Like,
23%.
kiss my ass.
Credit cards are in
No.
the 20 percentile.
Oh yeah, it's stupid. So I tell my
Wow.
girls, do not get credit cards.
20%.
And credit card debt, all-time high. The amount of
yeah.
people that are
Keeping
borrowing
people-
money.
Yeah. Hello.
It's not sustainable.
No,
Well,
it's
no.
not.
I mean, they're there to make money off your
Well, no,
interest,
I'm
so-
saying if credit card debt is at an all-time high, that's not sustainable. That just means everybody's broke, really. Mm-hmm. Like everybody's net worth is actually negative if you're borrowing on credit cards. At
A lot of people,
20%,
that's exactly right.
right.
broke ass.
I mean,
broke
that's
ass.
kind of scary. I mean, cash flow is
Kyle's like,
king.
"Oh,
It is. And I've seen a lot of, and so this is some things I can't say on podcast, or I can't,
Can you say it in Spanish?
maybe,
you might not
but
get
even then I could still be held
German?
liable. Because now our tests and licenses are in Spanish also.
Oh.
So I might be.
Morse code.
Gotta learn that one.
He's like, this girl is too much. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's a pretty scary stat. At all-time high. I mean,
Yeah.
pretty scary.
The amount of debt, even our institutions, regional small banks, the amount of loans that they have, commercial banks, the debt is ridiculous. And they're refinancing it at these high interest rates that we were talking about.
Yeah, that's not sustainable either.
No.
No way.
Well, now that you've given us the good news,
Yes.
what is the good news though? I mean, okay, so as we're starting to get towards the end, what is?
The good news is we know Kyle.
Yeah, well, what's the good news for the future? You're seeing like what do you
Buy
think?
crypto,
Okay, crypto.
buy and hold, buy bars, physical bars of gold. I believe, I'll say this now, but this is what I could say publicly, is when our government gets audited at Fort Knox, or the financial institutions that supposedly hold our gold, I'm not so sure how much they're going to find.
Really? You think that that's all
Yeah.
fraud,
Well,
huh?
where would it go? Where would it be? Or they're just like
Are they
made
selling
up
it?
freaking
They could
bars.
be. Who's counting it, right? It's all
Who's
on-
counted it?
Who's
When did they
counted
count it?
Yeah,
When's the
it's
last
true.
time it was audited? How do we know what's in there? And it's other valuable assets.
Where is it?
Exactly. Fort Knox. Check it out.
Is that
go.
really? That's really where we hold all the gold.
That,
for
I
the
mean, it
government?
was at one point a certain thing,
Is
but then
it
they
not?
moved it around.
Moved it around, right?
You know, there's many different locations throughout the country.
Yeah.
But it's just when I say Fort Knox, people can, our age, they understand like Fort Knox. That's supposedly where all the gold is, right? If you remember, it was Die Hard, a movie. They're talking about Fort Knox and selling
Yeah.
the gold out of there. That's a movie that we grew up on. But yeah, physical gold, and I think gold right now is at an all-time high.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm
Absolute-
telling you, that's what
I
that's what
believe
Rich Dad Poor Dad said.
A lot of people have understood that I've been saying for the last 3 years is, especially during COVID, is you need to buy physical gold. It's the best way to store an asset over time. When everything else crashes, gold does not go down. Even if you buy, let's say like a $1,000 necklace, if you sell it a year, 2 years from now,
it's not gonna be worth $1,000.
well,
Yeah.
it's gonna be pretty close.
Oh, you're talking about gold.
Gold.
Oh yeah, if it's gold, if it's real, right?
If it's
maintains
Gumby
its value.
gold, no.
Yes, yeah. If it makes your neck
If
all
that
yellow,
stuff at the swap meet, it might not.
nah.
Be.
But that's the thing is, like, I bought this gold necklace for this. I'm going to sell it for very close to this, or depending on what happens to it. But it stores value over time, and like right now, gold is a lot more than it was 2 years ago.
Sure.
So I would recommend you continue to buy gold.
Well, like gold
Or
where?
if you want to buy stocks of gold. So you could buy gold, JM Bullion. JM Bullion.
I want a gold brick.
Yeah, JM Bullion.
You can buy it.
Really?
Yeah, it's going online.
Buy me one.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day is coming up.
You want a gold brick?
Yeah,
It's not gonna
gold.
be a big. It's not gonna
Put
be
a
a very
red
big
bow
gold
on it.
brick.
I'll be like, woohoo.
Go up here. Watch. I'll send a link and we'll post it right here. Boom. You can put
Let's do
gold. Buy it right
So,
there. Yeah, I'm
there you
actually.
go.
So this is one of the things I'm working with my podcast. I've reached out to different gold associations to be able to sponsor and say, hey, if you use this promo code, you might get a discount.
Nice.
That's what I'm working on.
Get a commission.
Yes.
Loop us in, man.
That's exactly what I'm
Right?
working
You
on.
don't work
us
for
in.
free. Is that not my hobby?
Yes.
Loop us in, man. Loop
Yeah.
us in.
Yeah, the Gold Bureau, there's a few that I really like. And so they'll send you small little things of gold, big things of gold. Yes, store gold.
Okay.
A lot of good advice, man. A lot of good advice.
Like
here.
I said, with
you.
crypto, real estate, I love real estate. However, with the amount of inventory that's coming on right now, I still think, I was talking to my buddy today, Eric, I still think the values are going to continue to drop. They've been dropping, which is pretty nice, like 15 to 20%.
Has it
from
been
the last-
20%?
I don't
Really?
In
care.
certain areas around the country, yeah.
Yeah. I don't care. I guess,
So,
right
I mean,
now.
this is
It's gonna go
political,
up.
but certain states did not shut down during COVID. You could figure out which ones on your own. Certain states were very strict during COVID. And so the amount of building that happened over that course of time was more or less. And so certain states, they have a lot of inventory because they kept building. They said, COVID, we're not going to stop. And they have thousands of houses on the market, inventory going up, supply up. Demand is still kind of low because interest rates are very high.
Right.
I think the average, you need $109,000 to qualify for the median-sized home in the United States, but the average median-sized family makes $63,000.
Yeah, it's
So how
It's a big difference.
huge difference in what you're supposed to qualify compared to what you make.
Right.
And so certain states very much affordable, certain states are not. However, locally we start to see by Costco, there's those apartments opening. Off of Cook, there's apartments, and all throughout the valley, apartments.
Yeah, right here in Palm Desert too, right? Right off the freeway, there's a lot going up. So
Exactly.
inventory is going to be high.
Exactly. But who's trying to buy when you're paying 6, 7, right now 6.9?
big companies. I think they're the big companies. They're trying to like.
The Black
Yes.
Rocks of
Corral
the
it.
world and all the.
Right?
But even then, they bought
real
up
estate.
so much in the last couple of years. Going back, they have a lot of loans that they have to refinance.
So they're oversaturated, going to start selling. Basically.
Liquidity.
Liquidity. That's the word
like
of the
that word.
2025.
That's exactly the word
Okay,
of
so-
2025. Liquidity.
Liquidity. That means cash.
No shit, I know what it means. But so Bobby keeps saying we need to sell our old house, right? And I'm like, okay, let's negotiate. The only way I'll sell that house is if I get a fourplex. And then I'm trying to get him to let us move into one of the
Oh,
and
hell
rent
no.
out our house. And he's like, you're full
That's a
of shit.
deal breaker.
So I'm like,
I ain't
come
trying
on.
to. I ain't trying to go.
It's not an
apartment.
RV. But
No, yeah.
We got too many
Right.
bad kids in the house. I don't want to be right next door to them.
even if it was just you and I, you wouldn't do it.
We're at a night. I mean, I wouldn't say at a peak, but we're on I would say the downslope of the peak. So if you were to sell and you already have a place you're living now, I would sell. Me personally. Okay. So like I said, if I have a primary and then have an investment property, I would probably sell it now, and then buy when everything continues to drop in value. Like
Liquidity.
I said, a lot of these small banks,
to pounce.
yeah, a lot of these small banks, and I've
That's what I got investments for.
right? So being able to pay your bills on time is a big deal in the banking world. And a lot of these banks, they don't want to pay high interest rates. However, they have to refinance these loans. And so they've already worked with the state and government agencies to turn commercial buildings into residential properties because it is so bad already.
And malls,
Anything.
right?
Right?
Yeah,
they
that's
need
true.
to turn this space
Hotels.
because they're at such a loss that it would cripple the financial industry.
Oh my God.
Now, there's a few banks like the top 5 banks, Chase, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, they're fine. But a lot of the community banks and regional banks, they're upside down on a lot of these commercial loans because they got a loan or they were giving out a loan. Let's say I loaned you money. Let's say I loaned you $1 million at 1% interest. Cool. I'm making 1% off you. But then now interest rates are going up and I have to pay back 5% to whoever. I'm at a loss.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so that's what's going on. And they're trying to find ways in order to make more residential so people can, the cost of living is already too high. So they want to make, big old buildings that were used for office space, but everybody left the offices during COVID. They worked from home. And so now those offices were empty. So now people weren't paying the rent on those offices. And then they had to keep those loans. And now the rent, the loans went from 2% a year now to 7% interest. The banks are like, whoa,
what do we do?
They're halfway empty because people are working from home, this and that. Like, what do we do? Let's just sell it. Well, they can't really sell it. Long story short, nobody's buying millions of dollars. I posted on my channel millions of dollars of real estate in downtown San Francisco for pennies on the dollar.
Really?
Comparative, yes.
We do love San Francisco.
and that's just to me like one of the first like shoes to drop is like a big like a big area like that. It's like, you can buy this for that.
Yeah, that's going to throw the whole market into panic, though, right? That would just be like a domino effect after that, right?
Yeah, one of the wealthiest cities being cheap, like,
yeah.
Well, it's sinking,
Yeah, because you could already see Florida, Texas, Kentucky, a lot of different countries. I mean, a lot of different cities and counties around the country that are already dropping in value. And then when you start to see some of these high price areas, then you're going to be like, oh, wait. Hold on, what's really going on behind the scenes?
Right.
Follow that money.
Something to look out for out there, man. I think so. A lot of good information today. I mean, you're gonna have to watch this one twice to kind of get everything because there's a lot of good information here. Kyle, where can people find you if they want to get in contact with you and kind of pick your brain, or maybe get you on their team to kind of help them save for their retirement? How do people reach out to you and find you?
Yeah, definitely. You could find me with Desert Advisors on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok. So that's where you could follow me. Every day I'm buying $7 of cryptocurrency. And then you could see a lot of people they'll ask me questions about the tariffs. I'll explain what a tariff is. They'll ask me certain things about retirement accounts, life insurance, benefits, and I'll tell them. So
awesome.
Desert Advisors, people go out there and check them out. This guy's a wealth of knowledge. We're really lucky to have him come in. Thanks for coming in. I love
today.
you guys' studio.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Appreciate it.
we love having you. You're the first real guest in here, and hey, man,
season 2. You're the one.
It was a very informational and great conversation. So thanks for coming out.
My
man.
pleasure.
Yeah. So
Do
you
it
guys
again.
find some value in that. You know the routine. Subscribe, like, and post, and we'll
Cheers.
see you next time on CV Hustle.